I was looking at my front door this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've got, the deadbolt, a reinforced strike plate,
All the works.
a motion sensor light, a camera. I mean, we treat our physical homes like these absolute fortresses because, well, the idea of someone just walking in is terrifying.
And yet, most people leave their digital front door completely wide open.
That is exactly it. We're obsessed with physical security, but then we turn to our computers, these little boxes that hold everything. Our tax returns, banking passwords, our private thoughts.
Or we're basically leaving the key under the mat.
Exactly. So today, we are going on a mission. We are diving into system hardening.
Hardening is the perfect word for it, isn't it? It implies that the default state is, well, it's soft, it's vulnerable.
Right, and we're looking specifically at Module 19 of the CompTIA Plus curriculum here. Our goal is to take a standard workstation and just make it absolutely miserable for anyone trying to crack it.
Be the house on the block that thieves just skip.
Yes.
Yes.
It's too much work.
Exactly. I mean, security isn't about being unhackable. That's a total myth. It's about reducing what we call the attack surface.
Closing the windows, locking the doors.
And filling in the cracks in the foundation. You want the opportunistic bad guys to just move on to an easier target.
So we've got three main pillars to cover today. First, account security, basically how we prove we are who we say we are. Second, workstation hardening, the physical and digital locks. And third, safe habits.
Because you can have a bank vault door, but it doesn't matter if you invite the robber inside for coffee. The user is always the weakest link.
So true. Let's start with the keys to the kingdom then, account security.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's get into this, but I have to be honest. I dread password advice. I feel like for 20 years I've been told make it complex and change it every 30 days.
Yeah.
And it's exhausting. Is that still the gold standard?
Actually, no. If you're still changing your password every 30 days, you are probably making yourself less secure.
Wait, hold on. Really? Explain that. How does my laziness make me more secure?
It's not laziness, it's psychology. When IT forces people to change passwords constantly, what do?
Ugh, they pick a base word and add a number. Summer 2024, then summer 2025.
Exactly. Or they write it on a sticky note and slap it on their monitor. The new standard isn't about complexity, not in terms of random gibberish, it's about length. We're moving to passphrases.
Passphrases. So a sentence, basically.
Essentially, yeah. The CompTIA source material recommends a minimum of 12 to 16 characters, but instead of some impossible-to-remember string of symbols...
Like capital P at sign number 4.
Right. You use a story, something visual.
The example in the notes was pretty good. It was Blue River taught 2025 wind.
Perfect example. Blue River taught 2025 wind. Think about the mathematical randomness there, the entropy. Because it's so long, it is exponentially harder for a computer to brute force crack than a shorter, complex password.
A hacker's computer has to guess through trillions more combinations.
Trillions. But for you, it's easy to remember.
Right. I can picture a Blue River, the year 2025, the wind.
High security, low friction. But there are still hard rules. No personal info, obviously.
So my dog Rover Askew is out if Rover is all over my Instagram.
That's not a passphrase, that's a public caption. And the biggest rule, do not reuse them.
That's the one that hurts. I have like 50 accounts. If I have to remember 50 different stories about rivers and winds, my brain is going to melt.
Which is why you shouldn't be remembering them. Use a password manager.
So I remember one massive master passphrase.
And the software handles the rest. But, and this is so critical, even the best password in the world is useless if the server you're logging into gets breached.
The database leak.
Right.
That's where MFA comes in.
Multi-factor authentication. It is the single most effective security measure you can deploy. It's about having a different category of evidence.
Something you know and something you have.
Exactly. Your password is something you know. Your phone is something you have.
I know people hate this part, though. Pulling out the phone, finding the code. It feels like such a hurdle.
It is a hurdle. That's the entire point. If it's a hurdle for you, it's a brick wall for a hacker in a basement halfway across the world.
They might have my password.
But they don't have your physical phone. Without that second factor, they are locked out.
Fair enough. It's a 5-second annoyance for a whole lot of peace of mind. Okay, now, the accounts themselves. I saw something about the admin account. I didn't realize that just having an account named administrator was a vulnerability.
Oh, it's a massive one. Think about the attack chain. I need a username and a password.
Right.
If you leave the default account named admin, you've just given me 50% of the credentials for free.
I don't even have to guess who the boss is.
Nope. I can devote 100% of my computing power to cracking the password because I already know the username. Automated bots just scour the internet looking for that name.
So the fix is just change the name.
Rename it, or disable it and create a new one. Call it Workstation 1, anything other than admin. And while we're on defaults, we have to talk about the guest account.
My cousin came over and needs to print a boarding pass count.
Disable it immediately.
Don't be harsh on the cousin.
The cousin's fine. The account is the problem. The guest account is a notorious security hole. It often has weak permissions, and crucially, it allows anonymous access. Hackers use it as a stepping stone.
They get in through the unlatched guest door.
And then they try to escalate their privileges to admin from inside.
So if someone really needs to use my PC, I should just make them a temporary account.
Exactly. A specific credential, let them do their business, and then delete it. Don't leave a permanent, anonymous door unlocked.
Okay, that makes sense. This all leads into a concept that sounded really corporate in the reading, but I guess it applies to everyone. The principle of least privilege. POLP.
POLP. It sounds fancy, but it's just... Need to know, a user should only have the bare minimum access they need to do their job. Nothing more.
The analogy that came to my mind was a janitor at a bank.
Okay, yeah. Go on.
You give them keys to the hallway and the broom closet. Right?
Well, they need to do their job.
But you do not give them the keys to the vault. Even if you trust them, they don't need it to mop the floor.
That is a perfect analogy. And in the computer world, this means you should not be logged in as an administrator for your daily browsing.
See, this is where I push back. It's my computer. I bought it. Why shouldn't I be the admin all the time? It feels restrictive.
It is, but think about the alternative. If you're logged in as an admin and you click a bad link, that malware runs with your permissions.
So if I'm an admin, the malware becomes an admin.
And it can do anything. Wipe the drive, install keyloggers, disable your antivirus. Game over.
But if I'm just a standard user...
The malware hits a wall. It tries to write a file to a system folder, and Windows just says, sorry, you don't have permission. You've basically neutralized the attack just by logging in with a different account.
Okay, I see the logic. But what happens when I actually do need to install something legit? Do I have to log out and log back in every time?
No, and that's where UAC comes in, user account control.
Oh, the annoying pop-up.
No.
The one that dims the screen and asks, are you sure?
The one everyone tries to turn off the second they get a new computer. Please do not turn that off.
Why not? What's it really doing?
That dimming screen is actually a special mode called Secure Desktop. It pauses the entire operating system. It's a gatekeeper.
Okay.
If you're a standard user, it will ask you for the admin password right there. You type it in, the software installs, and then you go right back to being a standard user. It's a momentary elevation of privilege.
It prevents silent installs.
Exactly. If that box pops up and you didn't click anything,
then I know something shady is happening.
Panic time. Exactly.
Okay, I'm sold on UAC. Now, just briefly, how does this work in, like, a big office? You can't go to every machine one by one.
No. In a corporate environment, you use Active Directory. You manage everything centrally using group policy objects or GPOs.
So the IT admin sets a policy like disable guest account.
And the group policy management console pushes that rule out to every computer in the building automatically.
Automation is our friend. Okay, let's shift to the hardware. We've locked the software, but we forget these things exist in the real world. I mean, if someone just walks off with my laptop, it's all over.
Physical security is the first line of defense. If I can physically touch your machine, I can probably own it.
The notes mention cable locks. Do those actually stop anyone? They look like you could snip them with garden shears.
They aren't impenetrable, no, but they prevent the snatch and grab. A cable lock forces a thief to make a scene. They have to break something. Most are just opportunistic.
It buys time. And then there's the clean desk policy.
Which is not just about being tidy. It means don't leave passwords on sticky notes. Don't leave confidential printouts lying around.
And crucially, locking your workstation.
Windows key plus L every single time you stand up. And set your screensaver to lock after 5 minutes of inactivity. It's so simple, but so important.
But let's play out the worst case scenario. My laptop gets stolen from my car. They have the physical hard drive. Can they get my data?
This is where encryption is non-negotiable. Specifically, BitLocker.
Full disk encryption.
Oh, yeah.
Right? BitLocker scrambles every single bit of data on that drive. The OS, your files, everything. Without the decryption key, that drive is just a brick of static.
And this usually pairs with a chip on the motherboard, the TPM.
The Trusted Platform Module. It's a secure crypto processor that holds the keys. When you boot up, BitLocker talks to the TPM and asks, has anything changed? Has this hard drive been moved to another computer?
And if the answer is yes?
The TPM refuses to release the key, and the drive stays locked.
No, I saw another acronym in there. EFS, Encrypting File System? How is that different? Is it redundant?
It's not redundant. It's a different layer.
Yeah.
Think of it like this. BitLocker is locking the front door of your house. It keeps people out of the building.
Okay.
BFS is like a safe inside your bedroom.
Ah, I see. So BitLocker covers the whole machine, and EFS is for specific files.
Specifically for multi-user environments. If you and I share a PC, BitLocker unlocks the drive so the computer can run. But if I want to keep my secret project folder private from you, I use EFS. So even if you're an admin, you can't just double-click my EFS encrypted folder and read it.
Correct. But for most people on a single-user laptop, BitLocker is the big one. And don't forget, BitLocker to go.
For USB drives.
Yes, USB drives are the easiest thing in the world to lose. If you have company data on a flash drive, it must be encrypted. It's that simple.
Okay, moving to the immune system. We've locked accounts, encrypted the drive. Now, what about threats coming in from the web? We're talking Windows Defender.
And we really need to dispel a myth here. Years ago, Defender was basic.
Better than nothing, but just barely.
Right. Today, it is a legitimate enterprise-grade security suite.
I was reading about the cloud-based intelligence. So it's not just looking for a list of known viruses anymore.
No, that's the old way. Defender now uses real-time heuristics. If a file looks weird, maybe it's trying to do something it shouldn't, Defender pauses it and queries the Microsoft Cloud. It asks, have we seen this behavior anywhere else in the world? It can block a brand new virus that was created 5 minutes ago.
And there's a feature called controlled folder access for ransomware.
Exactly. Ransomware works by encrypting your personal files. Controlled folder access acts like a VIP rope for your documents folder. It says only trusted apps like Word or Excel can write here. If some strange new script tries to change your files, Defender shuts it down instantly.
That feels like a setting everyone should just turn on.
Yeah.
Now, the firewall. The source describes it as stateful. What does that actually mean?
Okay, think of a bouncer at a nightclub. A basic firewall just checks IDs. Are you on the list? No. Go away.
Simple enough.
A stateful firewall is smarter. It remembers the context of the conversation. If you send a request out to a website, the firewall remembers that state. When the website replies, the firewall opens the door because the traffic was solicited.
But if someone just walks up to the door uninvited,
The bouncer blocks them. That's stateful inspection.
and it works both ways, inbound and outbound.
Crucially, yes, we all worry about hackers getting inbound, but outbound rules are just as important.
Why? If the malware is already on my machine, isn't it too late?
Not necessarily. Modern malware often needs to phone home to a server to get instructions or upload your stolen data if the firewall blocks that unauthorized outbound connection.
You've trapped the spy inside the building before they could leak the secrets.
That's a great way to put it.
Now, I travel a lot. I'm always on hotel Wi-Fi. The firewall has different profiles for this, right?
Yes. Domain for your office, private for home, and public for everything else.
And I'm guessing public is the super paranoid mode.
It's the invisible man mode. When you connect to Starbucks Wi-Fi, Windows sets the profile to public. This tells the firewall to hide your computer from every other device on that network. It blocks file sharing, discovery, everything.
So if Windows pops up and asks, do you want to make this PC discoverable? And I'm at the airport.
The answer is no, absolutely not.
All right, home stretch. Safe habits. We can have all this tech, but if I do something dumb, it's game over.
You can't patch stupidity.
Harsh, but fair. Let's talk about the auto-run trap. This felt like a bit of a history lesson.
It is, but it matters because it changed how we handle external media. Back in the day, you'd plug in a USB drive and Windows would just automatically run a file on it.
I remember this. You pop in a game CD and the installer just appears.
It was convenient, but it was a security disaster. This was how worms like Conficker spread. You plug in an infected USB, and before you could even click, your machine was infected.
So how is it fixed now?
Modern Windows uses autoplay instead. Now, when you plug something in, it prompts you. It asks, what do you want to do? It requires a human click.
So if I plug in a random USB I found in a parking lot, which don't do that.
Please never do that. That is the oldest trick in the book.
But if I did, the computer would pause and ask permission.
Ideally, yes. But the safe habit is just Don't trust unknown hardware.
Now, downloading software. How do I know the file I'm getting is the real deal?
Rule 1 is source verification. If you need Adobe Reader, go to adobe.com, not freepdfdownload.net.
But the source also mentions verifying hashes. What is a hash?
A hash is like a digital fingerprint. It's a string of characters generated by a math formula. The developer puts the file on their site and publishes the hash next to it.
So it's a seal of authenticity.
Exactly. You download the file, you run a tool to generate its hash. If your hash matches their hash perfectly, the file is authentic. If even one bit has been tampered with, the hash will be completely different.
Like a wax seal on a letter. If it's broken, you don't trust it.
Perfect analogy.
Last topic, and I really want to clear this up because I think almost everyone gets it wrong. Incognito mode. Private browsing. Does it make me invisible?
I am so glad you asked this. The answer is a definitive.
No. But it says private.
It is private from your family. That's it. When you close an incognito window, it clears your local history and cookies. It means the next person to use the computer won't see what you were looking at.
But my ISP. My boss.
They see everything. Your internet service provider logs the traffic, the network admin in their office sees the sites you visited, and the website itself definitely knows you're there.
So it's good for buying a surprise birthday gift, but it's not a security cloak.
Precisely. Do not rely on it for anonymity. That's a whole other deep dive.
All right, let's wrap this up. We've built quite a fortress today.
We have. We secured the accounts with long passphrases and MFA. We renamed the admin account.
We accepted the annoyance of the principle of least privilege running as standard users.
We locked the hardware and encrypted the entire drive with BitLocker and the TPM chip.
And we boosted the immune system with Windows Defender, configured the stateful firewall, and learned that incognito mode is a lie.
It sounds like a lot of work.
It does. It sounds paranoid.
But hackers are lazy. They are looking for low-hanging fruit. If your digital door has a deadbolt and an alarm, and the person next door left their window open...
They're going to skip you. You just have to be harder to hack than the next guy.
Exactly.
Before we go, though, I want to leave everyone with one final thought. We talked about BitLocker encryption. It's amazing security. But it creates a new danger.
The lockout.
Yeah. If your motherboard dies or the TPM chip fails, BitLocker locks it drive down tight, and the only way back in is the recovery key.
That 48-digit number that most people ignore during setup.
So here is your homework. Do you know where your BitLocker recovery key is right now? Is it in your Microsoft account? Is it printed in a safe? Because if you don't have it and your computer glitches, you lose everything. Your security becomes a trap for you, not the hacker.
Go check it right now.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. Stay safe out there.